Hi guys, welcome to the another topic that we have for our lesson in midterm, which is your SOPEP, SMPEP, and VRP. So that's the last topic that we have for the midterm. So with regards to this SOPEP, SMPEP, and VRP, when you say SOPEP, it is about Shipboard Oil Pollution Emergency Plan. This is as per the MARPOL 7378 requirement under the Annex 1, and that all ships with 400 gross tonnage and above must carry an oil prevention plan. So take note that if you are any type of ship and you are 400 gross tonnage and above, you are required to carry SOPEP. The gross tonnage requirement for an oil tanker naman, however, reduced to 150 gross tonnage because syempre, mas larger yung risks of having an oil pollution compared to any type of ship. Kasi sa any type of ship, only the ones that they're using for bunker or for the diesel engine na oil can be spilled, as well as the oil only a little amount of oil can, no, not little, but only fewer than compared to the oil tanker can be spilled, no? So if you're an oil tanker, of course ang kargada mo is oils or crude oil or any type of hydrocarbons natin, as defined by our Marple Annex 1. You can go back into that definition kung ano yung oil na yon. So it says there that hydrocarbons natin, petroleum hydrocarbons natin. No, so 150 gross tonnage as oil itself is kind of cargo, which doubles the risk, as I said, for oil pollution. The master of the ship is the overall in charge of the SOPEP, along with the chief officer as subordinate in charge for the implementation of the SOPEP on board the ship. So si master talaga yung overall in charge, and he is assisted by, of course, the chief officer. The SOPEP also describes the plan for the master, the officer of the crew of the ship regarding ways to tackle various oil spill scenarios that can occur on a ship. For oil tankers, action plan differs according to the cargo handling and cargo tanks containing huge quantities of oil. So the SOPEP discusses on what will be the action, no? Or what will you do as an officer, as a crew on board the ship, that in case of there is an oil pollution, how will you respond? No, being on board the ship, how can you respond to such situations? So SOPEP, as I said, contains all the information and operational instructions related to the emergency procedure, and as well as your SOPEP equipment provided in the SOPEP kit. So meron tayong something kit na tinatawag natin board the ship, and we have also the SOPEP locker. The SOPEP locker contains all the shipboard oil pollution prevention equipments, no, that can be used in case of oil pollution. So the plan must contain important telephone, telex numbers, names, etc. of all important contacts to be contacted in the event of oil pollution. So meron dong page sa SOPEP natin. SOPEP is a plan, no, 'di ba? And meron doon mga procedures, mga list of equipments that you'll be using, as well as contact numbers. So in case that you will be, for example, run aground certain areas in Indonesia. So meron kang bubuksan doon sa VRP, or meron kang bubuksan sa SOPEP ninyo na list of contact numbers na you will directly contact that person or that certain coordination center that you had an oil spill, so that they can give you response actions right away, no? The general arrangement of the ship is also listed in the SOPEP, which includes the location of the oil tanks with capacity and content. Now, kasi in case of emergency, kumbaga parang si SOPEP yung nagiging unang magiging guide mo, or magiging maalala mo siya, na kukunin mo siya kaagad, hugutin mo lang siya, then all the information needed to mitigate, to prevent, or to lessen the pollution, nandun lahat sa SOPEP natin, or the sa plan na to, na tinatawag nating SOPEP. The location of SOPEP locker and contents of the locker with a list of inventory is stated as well in the SOPEP natin. Here are some of the components that can be found on our SOPEP. Absorbent capacity, floating oil absorbent booms, oil and absorbent pads, oil only absorbent roll, oil only absorbent pillows, contaminated waste bags, oil resistant gloves, disposable overalls, lockable weatherproof container, lockable weatherproof containers. Natin dalawang pieces. So you have correct me if I'm wrong, pero these are some of the components that I've seen in the internet and the list, and we have actually more on board the ship because as ship owners, you want, of course, that your crew could be able to address or to mitigate or to prevent such oil pollution that could occur or would expand, because liabilities will increase, the damages that you will be paying as a company would increase. So they are giving you much stocks or much absorbent materials or something like equipments that can be used for oil pollution. Siyempre, that is the reason to prevent, of course, the larger effects of oil pollution. We have the Shipboard Marine Pollution Emergency Plan. Ang magkaiba doon is Shipboard Oil Pollution Emergency Plan sa SOPEP. SMPEP is your marine pollution. Because this one, naisip na rin nila na it's not just about the oil that is being the problem here, when it comes to pollution. Pwede rin kasing manggaling ang pollution sa noxious liquid substances natin or sa mga harmful substances natin. So si SMPEP, yun ang naging in-address niya, Wherein in case of there is a shipboard marine pollution or there is a shipboard emergency, then si SMPEP ang magiging guide mo or magiging, kumbaga, parang libro mo, magiging guide mo siya that in case there is a pollution as a ship carrying liquid substances in bulk, chemical tankers ka man or kung ano ka mang ship, if you're 150 gross tonnage and above, you are required to carry SMPEP. So here's an example, or here's a picture that shows how can a pollution be devastating, So here we can see that this is a bulk carrier and it spilled its cargo, and then obviously magsispill din ito ng oil kasi underneath the tanks, or sorry, the cargo hold, there might be some crude oil tank, so it might be, magra-run the ground siya and then magbe-break, and of course it will spill oil. Of course, mga piping systems na rin as well, maapektuhan, that would spill the oil. The latter may be combined with the SOPEP since most of their contents are the same, and one combined planning board is more practical than two separate ones. Kasi syempre naman, if dalawang plan meron ka, so it would be very hard for you, hindi na kasi oil tankers lang yung nagkikerry ng SOPEP, all ships, as we said, all ships must carry the SOPEP, all ships have their SOPEP lockers as the SOPEP, the plans, the book na tinatawag natin, or the plan. To make it clear that the plan is a combined one, it should be referred as a Shipboard Marine Pollution Emergency Plan, or SMPEP natin. So the combined SOPEP and SMPEP is called SMPEP, SMPEP, We have this VRP. A Vessel Response Plan, or VRP, is a document that outlines what the vessel will do in case of offshore spill. So, if you remember sa OPA 90, it discusses or it requires the ship to have a certain plan, The SOPEP and the SMPEP is, the SOPEP actually, if we will go back, is as per Annex 1. The SMPEP is as per Annex 2. SOPEP Annex 1, SMPEP Annex 2. Regulation 17. Now sa VRP, deals with the plans that you need. It's a document that outlines what the vessel will do in case of the offshore spill. VRPs are required by United States Coast Guard, as I said, parang it's as per OPA 19 natin. For maritime operators that are carrying certain quantities of chemicals and or refined petroleum products. The VRP includes information about the vessel, such as its name, country of registry, call sign, and more details about the ship. The length, the width, all particulars needed. Contact information for the vessel's owner and the operator. Actually, if you're on board the ship, may nakapaskil dyan sa bridge and sa mga conspicuous places. What are those contact numbers of your in case of emergency? Ito yung mga contact numbers na iko-contact mo. So, parang mga superintendents, parang ganun. A list of zones that a vessel intends to operate in, and the clear identification of the incident management team, the people or group who is to be notified in the event of oil spill. As per our company, kung maalala ko pa na correctly, we are updating this. We have this something na page wherein you have to write there. For example, if you're calling Indonesian port, if you're calling the Indonesian port, you have to prepare. Na example, what's the name of that Indonesian port, and then you are already writing the name of the contact persons, or the contact rescue centers, what are the VHF channels that you need to contact, and as well as what are the contact numbers, telephone numbers that you need to call in case of emergency. So this one, ang page na yon na ina-update namin every time we will be arriving at a certain port. That one prepares na kumbaga in case of emergency, for at least hindi ka na mahihirapan maghanap sa mga pages, you will go directly to that page because that page will state who is the person you need to contact in case of emergency. So the identification contact will include the identity of who is to be notified, how to most efficiently reach them, and secondary communication effort instructions that should be used if the first contact is unreachable. Of course, syempre, pag hindi, what's the plan B? Parang ganon. Additionally, the VRP will contain information about the vessel's chosen insurance company. So, as per CLC, you have this civil liability convention that you need to have a certain insurance company that will help you shoulder all the expenses in case of emergency. But as a good seafarer, you need always to imagine, or you have always to move, or you have always to work on board the ship that you are preventing pollution to happen. You need to take all necessary precautions that when you are working on board the ship, you are making sure that no incident or no harm will be imposed. So, bilang seafarer, safety ang dapat mong priority when you're on board the ship. And you need to do all necessary things. You have to bear in mind that you need to be safe always. And you should not be selfish enough that at all the times you need to think always of your safety, and while you are thinking of your safety, you'll be thinking of the safety of the others, you'll be thinking of the safety of the ship, your cargoes, as well as the marine environment. So it is very important for you to deal with the safety precautions every time you work on board the ship. Ang thinking mo lagi is safety. You need to work safely always on board the ship. So that's all for the SOPEP, SMPEP, and the VRP topics. Good luck to your exams. I wish you all the best, and I hope that you had learned something with regards to the SOPEP, SMPEP, and VRP. When we say SOPEP, it deals with the oil pollution response on board the ship. This states your plans that in case of oil pollution, what will you do? How will you, like for example, diba, there's an oil pollution, what will you do? Of course, you need to immediately shut down the operation, parang ganon. So the method or what are the things that you need to do, nandito yan sa SOPEP, SMPEP as well, no? For those carrying liquid substances, noxious liquid substances, and the VRP, the vessel's response plan, no? What are the response, no, of the ship, no, in case uh, there is an oil pollution, no? What are the insurances that or who is the insurance company that will help you shoulder all the expenses? And I hope, no, I hope that when you go on board the ship later, and if you become captain soon, if you become officer soon, you will not be dealing with oil pollution. This is a big issue in the maritime industry, and if you always think about safety, we will not be dealing with this oil pollution. It will be part of your experience, but it's not a good experience for you, no? Because you will be handling a lot of cases. You'll be your company will be paying losses, and your records will be, stained, or kumbaga parang mababahiran ng mancha ang iyong record. So I hope that soon, if you become officers later on, presence of mind is there, and your mindset that no harm should be imposed to anybody. Okay? So good luck to your exams, midterm exams. Study well, and I hope that you got something from this video. For any concerns, for any questions, clarifications, you may do private message me on mrooms on Facebook, and you give me text message, no problem with me. And don't forget to comment on this video if you have questions or if you have clarifications. I will try my best to address, no? Ang dami nating mga communication lines, but I'm trying my best to respond to your needs or to your concerns, no? So I wish you all the best. I wish to see you on face to face next semester, and I wish you and bid you safe, no? Stay safe always, and see you on the finals.